How's it going? I am Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Moore, Crystal Cleveland, and Dave Dreher, and I will look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. With me this week, as always, is Jeff Moore. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Did I ever tell you that I always wanted to be an astrobiologist?
Only the other night when we were cuddling real close.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Did I tell you MIT was after me? They wanted me to run the world for them.
That you forgot. You forgot. All
but
right.
here I am.
All right. Well, that is a little tidbit from The Beach House. That is the film we are reviewing tonight. It is going to be streaming on Shudder July 9th. I'm excited to talk about, but let's find out. Let's introduce the rest of the crew. Yeah, starting off with Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead girl. How you like that? Tongue twisted. How you doing?
Oh, I love it. I think I hurt my foot.
Ah, no!
Oh my God!
Oh
yeah,
no!
it's really bad.
Oh, that was actually a pretty gruesome part of the film.
That was actually it was.
Yeah. The
See, I'm not good with these, like trying to intermix my hellos with the movie. I'm not nearly as clever and witty. I need a good writer.
Do you? Not a good writer?
Yeah.
All right. Well, practice makes perfect. You're doing this every week. You'll get there. You'll get there. You're miles ahead. You're doing fine.
Yes,
all right.
Yeah. Don't use me as something to shoot for them.
Also joining us is the one and only Dave Dreher. Dave,
hey,
it is great to see you. How you doing? Love your hat.
I am doing good. Oh, you like the hat?
I like the hat.
Nice thing hat going on there. Gotta love it.
I hope you got your Grue in this week.
Yeah, a little bit. Had to wait a long time to get to the Grue.
Oh! Are we
long time? really long time.
See, that's why I was
no! Are we burying the lead? Are we burying the lead? This is kind of scary. Oh no! Well, let's talk about it. We are here to review Beach House. This is a film from director Jeffrey A. Brown. The cast includes Liana Liberato. There we go, guys.
What?
Noah Gros, Nick Webber, and Maryann Nagel. Now, I'm pretty sure Noah LaGrosse is the son of James LaGrosse, but I can't find anything to prove it, but he's a spitting image of him. Somebody out there confirm or deny that. Anyway, a romantic getaway for two troubled college sweethearts turns into a struggle for survival when unexpected guests and the surrounding environment exhibit signs of mysterious infection. This is a lot of fun. I hope you guys are ready for this. I am curious what the Grue-Crew think. Dave, you have me peaked. So your what is your first impression of The Beach House?
The Beach House. Well, I really wanted to like this movie. I was actually looking very forward to seeing it. It takes a really, really long time to get going anywhere. I think I looked at it. It was like 53 minutes in before anything really kind of happens. We meet our two leads. The lead dude, was that the one that you think is? I can't remember what his character name is. Anyway, he's like
Randall.
He's
Randall Emily.
Giant douchebag, huge douchebag with a capital D. I mean, there's just not much happens. I mean, we learn about their little problems that they're having, and then we run into that older couple that's there, and we learn a little bit about their problems, and things are kind of creepy, but nothing really much happens. And then maybe the last 20 minutes of the movie is okay.
Okay,
but yeah, it's okay. I mean, we get some goo after the guy spends 18 minutes wandering out into the ocean until he's a little black dot and finally disappears. Then things kind of get interesting, and then she steps in the goo, and it's like, okay, now we're off. And then the fog shows up, and everyone turns into zombies, and we're all good. So, but yeah, it just was a very, very, very slow burn. This could have been a short film. I really feel like it could have been, it just, but I mean, it wasn't poorly done. it just, I don't know. It wasn't what I was hoping for. I wanted more.
Okay. Well, I think that's fair. I think that's fair enough. Let's find out what the rest of the crew think, shall we, Dave? Up next is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl. What's your first impression of the Beach House?
So I am in complete agreement with Dave.
Oh.
It is, yeah. Okay, so I was very excited based on the trailer. I thought this is really interesting. I knew you were excited about it, so I was like, I'm going to get excited. And it starts off really, really slow. So it got great acting, and whoever made the film has an incredible fog machine. I'm very jealous of that.
Yeah.
I just want you to know. Okay, it's amazing.
I kept waiting for Tom Atkins to show up.
I know, me too.
It's something that dreams are made of, really. Like, I think good fog is good. I feel like the story developed its characters decently, and it flowed, and it just I agree with Dave. I wish they had done a little bit more faster. I feel like it was all this build up, and then which was the was good. That was my favorite. A lot of the body horror stuff, which I really enjoy, but getting up to that, while it was good acting, there was definitely nothing fearful or horrific about it, other than the sadness behind the characters. I do love the actor, the main guy, not the young one, the older one.
Jake Weber.
He was good.
Awesome. Yes, I love him. So the acting, like I said, was stellar. I think everyone did a great job. I think the FX were amazing when we finally got to them. I wish there was a little bit more meat at the end that would have stretched through. So it's good, and I enjoyed it, but I think for some people...
Did they ever explain the pods?
No.
They're just kind of there, and then they're gone. And it's like, oh, look, pods. Okay, the pods are gone. Don't know what part they play.
I mean...
The pods?
Yeah, like the
on the beach.
Things. They show up on the beach.
They're like jellyfish.
They were there and gone so quick you didn't even see them.
Yeah, the little cocoons. Yeah,
and basically I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but they don't explain any of that. I think there's so much that could have been based upon that, but I guess that would have required a fight of some sort from us, from the humans or whatever, and that was lacking.
It wasn't about that. It wasn't Invasion of Body Snatchers. It was more.
Mm-mm.
It was more that first
War of the Worlds, but not even.
Well, it was like the first 10 minutes of Invasion of the Body Snatchers stretched out. All right, let's find out what the rest of the crew think. Jeff Moore, you're up next. What is your first impression of the Beach House?
This is my new code word. It had a suitable amount of Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Wait,
what's that?
WTF. That's my new WTF.
Yes.
So, yeah, I liked it. It's definitely what they're saying. It's slow. I think. I believe it's like 88 minutes or something like that. It could be 75,
30,
but.
Oh man.
I liked the way that they developed the characters, the relationship between the girl and the guy. They seemed totally not on the same page between Emily and Randall. Randall was like into let's just check out and live our lives on the beach, and she's like, but I want to get my master's degree and be an astrobiologist. It just wasn't. They just weren't on the same page. I liked both of them. I liked Liana Liberato. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. I saw her on a weird little series on Hulu called Light as a Feather. That's got some supernatural stuff there. Kind of a teen series, I think. But anyway, I thought she did well. I kind of liked them all, but I am a Jake Weber fan. It was slow, but I didn't ever have a problem with it. And I'm okay with not knowing exactly what was going on. Some of the little radio snippets we caught, or when she's on a police radio for a couple of sentences, and then they hear a little bit of things from the radio, gave me enough information to know that, and even though the movie is slow, imagine what was actually happening. It was in the space of like a day and a half.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Or maybe 2 days max. So I enjoyed it. I liked it. And I liked the two, what I would call the super major practical effects pieces.
Is there just a couple? I guess.
Well,
yeah,
I'm going to say the goo guy in the foot.
Goo guy in the foot. Yeah, the foot was pretty gruesome.
Well,
there's two times the foot is gruesome. It's the first time and the second time.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I don't. I feel a little odd because I really liked this movie. I liked the characters. I liked the because there's a lot going on that we're shown, and that we don't have to get all this exposition, and I like that. Even with the character development, because Mitch and Jane are there, but there's so much going on behind the scenes, with them that is left for interpretation. Why are they there? Is a relationship between Mitch and Randall's father as legit as it seems? Is there something fishy going on? What's up with Jane? Exactly. I was surprised they never really dove into all that. You thought they might from the way it was going. So it was an interesting kind of awkward scenario with these two couples finding themselves trapped in this house, and of course they have edibles, so that's fun.
Oh yeah.
It gives us little psychedelic moments there at the beginning. But yeah, once it kicks in with the beach and Jake Weber and Mitch and Emily, I guess I should say, on the beach, and he has his really interesting and a whole lot of subtext in what he's talking about, Mitch, before he goes for his last swim, let's say, is really fascinating. At that point, I think we all got hooked, but I was already there. I was enjoying it. It was weird and freaky, and I think I enjoyed most of it up until the very end. There was a point when I can't really say anything without giving. I'm not entirely sold on how the film decided to resolve itself, but I get it. I mean, I like the concept. I don't know if I buy the execution of it 100%.
That's the part I did not have a problem with, actually.
Yeah, you talk about the very last couple of frames, right?
I didn't have any. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I get it, because she was very similar to Weber's character, and where she was at that point.
Yeah, and we've been getting these kind of films. So, what's the one about the boat? Was very similar about that. The one we watched earlier this year.
The water, the sea.
Sea Fever.
Sea Fever, yeah.
Sea
It
Fever,
had a similar tone to its ending. That's about the only thing it had in common with its ending. But the same kind of out of the 70s kind of not optimistic, pessimistic ending.
But also similar to Yummy, even though Yummy was funny. But
yeah, this one could have used a little more humor. It could have used a little bit more punch. I think I think what you guys might be missing is it was very straightforward. It didn't need to be, but in this day and age, maybe just to be heard, maybe you need to, maybe you should. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say.
For me, it just felt kind of boring. It was very basic life. So that's, for me, I just wanted a little more.
It was just kind of empty. Nothing was ever really explained. Like the blue, that blue luminescent stuff that came in, and like, what was it? Was it from the edibles? Did it exist? Was it the first? Was it the first wave of this? What?
Oh yeah. Well, you saw all the stuff at the very opening frames, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. It just I don't know. It just. There was never any completion to any of it. I just like the scene with the guy wandering into the wandering into the thing. I mean, that is a long scene that has zero payoff. Nothing happens. The only thing that can happen is his head goes underneath the water. Did he really have to wander 18 miles out until we see that? I mean, I was waiting for, it's like, okay, is like something going to shoot up? Is he going to blast off like a rocket?
Been awesome.
Are we going to see a giant blood fountain? What are we going to see? No, he just goes.
Yeah. I like it. I thought it felt like a Lovecraft story, which is
in a way.
A lot of times his are sort of introverted and kind of weird stuff's going on, and nobody knows for sure what's going
Lovecraft, on. Leave Lovecraft to Lovecraft. This was nothing Lovecraft about that.
Maybe. Well, I think I could see that, Jeff, because I think that they tried to do that at the beginning. Because let's be honest, when they first showed up there, that place was empty, and that's weird. It was like, the weather was beautiful. There should have been a ton of people out, and they're all like, it's empty. So I do think they were trying to establish this strangeness. It just didn't translate very well.
Right. And the stuff glowing at night, that happens. That's a
like the phosphorescent
bioluminescence. That happened off San Diego right after we left. There was people were flocking to the beach to see it.
It's usually green though, kind of greenish, but like they had it in Sea Fever too. Hey.
Yeah, they did. So beside the character development or lack thereof, as we might be debating here, the effects when they get into it, let's talk about that foot. Dave, what did you like better, the shot of the thing in the ankle or pulling it out of the ankle?
Yeah, I was going to say,
small spoilers, but until you see it.
I think the extraction was better than the infestation.
Okay, I like that.
They were both good, but that was the kind of the first moment of like, okay, good. Now we're somewhere. Something's going on now, and definitely the extraction.
The extraction. I like that they were crawling around a lot, and that their eyes would like bake over. Get that.
Yeah, that zombie look,
oiled eyes look. What do you think of that, Jeff? With them crawling around, especially when we see the one coming out of the bedroom and flopping down the steps. That was awesome.
Flopping down the steps.
Yeah, she did.
Like a fish. She was like a fish. She flopped down the I liked it in that, they kind of set up, and there's a flaw here too, maybe, or maybe just a side shoot, but they sort of set up the progress. So Randall and Jane kind of followed the same progression, right? They got kind of screwed up skin, and then they got where they were, and then their eyeballs, and then they started crawling like a, I don't know, just dragging themselves by their arms. On the other hand, I forget what his name was now, Mitch and Emily, theirs was less that. They were still sort of mobile, right? And they kind of lost their bearings in reality to a certain extent, especially Mitch. So anyway, I liked it, and what I took a whole lot from the few scattered words we caught on the radio.
Yeah.
So I interpreted. I just chose for myself what all that might be going on.
Okay. Another element that worked really well was cinematography and the fog, especially when you had both. Crystal, no, seriously, they had some great lighting to support the fog.
Yeah, they did.
When you were at the house,
like I said, the cinematography is great. Acting is great. And that fog machine is killer.
Yes, is that like the highlight of the film? The special effects score goes to the fog machine.
I mean, it made me happy. I'm not kidding. There is something about fog. I don't know why. I really love it in movies. Yeah. It's just, there's something about it that, because it is like if you don't like that stuff, right? It can be a mess, because the light bounces off of it and stuff. And then it can, that's what's so cool about concerts. It's got the laser lights. Woo!
Yes. But fog has a mind of its own. It's hard to control.
Yeah, if it's windy. And do you think they filmed that in a studio? No way.
No, it didn't look like it. No, they were just lucky. fortunate.
It was nice looking. Yeah. I mean, really, there's a lot of good to this movie. There's a lot of good things. It's just know that when you watch it, because you will watch it, is on Shudder. You're gonna go ahead and watch it.
Sure.
It's just gonna take you a while to get to the meaty treats.
There are meaty treats. All right. Well, let's end it there. But I am going to leave us all with something to ponder before we get to our final thoughts. Is that I'm of the impression that when Emily is explaining that she wants to be a biologist, an astrobiologist, is that what she said, Jeff? That she basically explained everything before it happened with her speech.
Yeah.
So, yep. And that's exactly what happened to everything. So I was like, hey, this works. Let's go. So anyway, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene for the beach house. But before we do, one more pause. If you like this, and I hope you do, subscribe below and hit the like button, hit the bell so you can get notified. I hope you're enjoying us migrating into, is that the right word? Migrating, I don't know, going into YouTube. And if you like the YouTube and you like podcasts, this is a podcast as well. If you're on the podcast, you might like YouTube. Hey, check us out. Anyway, either way, both ways, don't care. But we want to hear from you. Make sure you leave some comments down below too and let us know what you think. So let's stop there, get back to the show, and let's find out what our final thoughts were. Dave, you're up first.
All right. The Beach House. I'm giving this a 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just didn't really care for it. The good that we get is not enough to make me recommend it. It almost falls into that artsy fartsy category that I've created for myself, Color Out of Space. Just so much time spent on trying to develop mood and tone, and it doesn't matter. It just, none of it matters. It just don't. There's very, very little payoff. We do get some payoff. The fog is great. The worms are great. I wish I'd known what those freaking pods were and why they showed up and vanished within the blink of an eye. Just a lot of left unanswered here. It seems like somebody had a little fever dream of like 6 really cool scenes, and then they're like, all right, well, let's make this into an 1.5 hour movie. The acting was okay, given that they were really not given much to work with. But yeah, I don't know. Good thing it's on Shudder. It'll find some up and around. I mean, people like Jeff, like these type of movies. It wasn't my cup of tea. But yeah, that's it. And favorite scene, we already talked about. It's got to be the worm extraction. Yes. It's definitely the best bit of effects that we got going on there, other than the fog. But it's really kind of hard to give fog a best scene.
We'll try.
But we're gonna do our best.
Yes. All right.
But two.
All right. Up next is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl, and I'm stumbling over your name all night long. Okay. Give us your final thoughts. Your score, favorite scene.
So apparently, I liked it more than Dave for sure. Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like there's nothing that I just felt like it was a little slow. I just wanted action sooner. I didn't care about the way it wrapped up. It made sense to me, actually. That was fine. I just wanted it sooner. I was like, oh, okay. Wah, 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 wah. but I'm going to give it a 3, though. I feel like it was well done, and, it had enough going for it. And, some of it I was like, oh, that's nice. That's interesting. It's a little creative. It's fine. It's fine. My favorite scene is, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a scene where someone is in transition, and I thought it was really cool. He looked at his hand, and he had this big bulbous thing on his hand. I don't know why I really liked it. I just thought it looked really cool. And I know like that's some jelly thingy. There's a lot of little cool things in the movie, but for some reason that one just really got to me. It looked like a big blister, and it was.
I thought he'd hacked up a worm.
Is that what it looked like? A big jelly.
What I thought.
That's what I thought. I thought he'd hacked up a worm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what he.
Was I looking at something crazy, or maybe
You'll probably nod it off.
Oh, Dave! No, no. But, oh man!
Dave.
All right. Well,
Dave.
let's find out what Jeff thought. Jeff, what is your final thoughts? Your score, favorite scene for the
4.5.
Stay awake. Stay awake.
Oh no.
Only because of Dave's comment. I'm going to bump this up a little bit. I'm giving this a 3.5.
Nice.
Because I he's right. I like stuff like this. But there is a little bit of a forewarning there. If ever you have soft water and it's starting to feel a little too soft.
Oh yes. What was
Get out of the house.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
And that seemed to affect some people a lot more than the other ones. Well, it was the slime was coming through. I'm going to take, since nobody else took it, I'm going to take the foot when she's still down on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm still not exactly sure what I saw. I rewound it a couple times and watched. I'm like, oh, that's Fox trotted up.
No, nice. I like that. All right. Well, for me, I enjoyed this. I like the slow burn. I like the character. I like the actors. Yeah, Randall's a douche, but that's. Could there have been a better payoff with his character arc? No, probably not. He wasn't destined for that. I thought the goo elements, the green slime elements, like your shirt there, Jeff Moore. I really enjoyed the edible part. All the little sparkles was cool. Yeah. I thought Jake Weber was great. Matter of fact, that's my favorite scene is his speech. Because there's so much, woven in between every word he's saying. It applies to her, applies to him, applies to the wife, and then also everything that's happening around them. So I like that. But not as much as Jeff. So it's a 3, and it's a 3 for me. It's a 3. And I already gave you my favorite scene, so that's it. There's our review for The Beach House. It is playing on Shudder July 9th, so check it out and write down below what you thought of it. Let us know. All right.
Wait as we leave, I want to fade into the background real slowly, and I'll just vanish. Wait, here we go. Wait for it.
You don't have enough room there, Dave.
What'll happen?
He's gonna go. Maybe he'll start slinking down.
What am I gonna do with you? All right, so we got. All right, so we're welcome to the second half of the worst year in recorded history. It's as we were doing this the second half. We do have some really cool things lined up for July, so I hope you stick around and catch those, including a best of the first half of the year. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. But for right now, Dave, Crystal, Jeff, I want to thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What else would we do? This is it.
I literally always wave too soon. At this point, I'm like, bye.
All right. Well, with that,
every time.
Good night.
Bye.
What? Are you going to say good night, Jeff? We're waiting in suspense.
Just like the movie, it's a slow burn.
He's protesting.
Gruesome Magazine.